Hey kiddo, sorry the last video cut out, so we're going to keep going here, okay? She carefully unwound her tail from Kinkajou's and lifted the little creature into Winter's talons. His claws brushed against hers as she did, and she flinched, both at the cold and the furious turmoil of guilt and self-loathing inside him. "Ew," Winter protested, peering at the scavenger. "You got him all sticky." Moon realized that her claws were still covered in crushed mango, and she'd gotten bits of it all over Winter's pet. "Sorry," she said softly, She was actually just saving him, Kinkajou pointed out. "You could try saying thank you." "Huh," Winter said. Moon sensed Clay approaching along one of the tunnels, along with someone whose mind was warm and nearly as excited as Kinkajou's. Sunny, she guessed with relief. She really needed to not be the center of attention anymore. Winter took his pet over to the river and dunked him in, prompting several shocked, squeaking noises from Bandit. What does she know about scavengers? Moon heard him think. I wonder if she can figure out what's wrong with Bandit. Not that I would ask a Nightwing for anything. He's hungry, Moon blurted, and immediately wanted to bite her tongue off. Winter gave her a cold look. No, he isn't. I offered him a piece of dessert rat this morning on the way here, and a bit of walrus the day before that, but he didn't eat either of them. He lifted the dripping wet scavenger up and inspected him narrowly. The little creature had flopped over and curled into a ball again, shivering. In fact, he hasn't eaten since Queen Glacier caught him and gave him to me 4 days ago. I'm guessing that scavengers don't eat very often. Or maybe it hates you and is trying to starve itself to death, Quibbly offered helpfully. Winter frowned. Scavengers don't do that. Do they? He drinks water when I give it to him. Have you, Moon faltered as he turned to scowl on her. Have I what? He snapped. Sunny's warm scales brushed against Moon's as the Scandwing came hurrying in. Hello, she said brightly. She was smaller than Winter and Quibbly, not much bigger than Moon and Kinkajou. Moon liked the way her mind felt, though, all hopeful and determined. What's all the excitement? Sunny asked. Behind them, Clay started shooing the watching crowd away. Moon could hear them grumbling about wanting to eat the scavenger or wishing there had been a bigger fight, both aloud and in their heads. Fate Speaker told me you brought a pet, Sunny said, turning to Winter. Is that it? Aw, I met a couple just about that size once. Winter arched his long neck and looked down his nose at her. Queen Glacier said I could have him if I agreed to come here, he said challengingly. If you say I can't keep him, I'm going home. But you definitely can't have it there, Sunny pointed out in a reasonable voice. A scavenger couldn't possibly survive the cold in Glacier's palace. Well, Winter hesitated, clearly ruffled by the logic of this. I don't care. I'll figure out a way. I'm keeping him. That's my point. I don't mind if you do, but remember, pets can be a lot of work, Sunny said. Especially a new pet you're still getting used to. You should ask Starflight if he has any scrolls on the care and feeding of scavengers. I'm sure I can manage, Winter said. He started shaking Bandit to get the excess water off. The little scavenger yelped and tried to hang on to one of the dragon's claws. Moon's talons twitched. She wished she were brave enough to grab Bandit back and hold him more carefully. There's an awful lot we don't know about scavengers, Sunny said. Maybe your winglet can study him. And we'll tell everyone there's a no scavenger eating policy, but you still have to take care of him and keep him safe. Sunny shifted her wings and Moon caught the worries going through her mind. Did that sound bossy enough? Or too bossy? Will anyone ever take me seriously as the boss of anything?
It doesn't look like you have an app named...
No one would dare hurt my scavenger, said Winter. Not if they knew he belongs to me. Perhaps I should get him a collar and a label of some sort. Belongs to the nephew of Queen Glacier, Quibbly suggested with a straight face. Winter nodded thoughtfully, then shot him a suspicious look. But, Sunny went on, is it all right with you, Quibbly? It'll be in your cave you're sharing, so you have to say yes too. Otherwise, perhaps we can switch you to a different cave if we can find someone who won't mind the scavenger. Winter cleared his throat importantly. Perhaps you've forgotten that Queen Glacier is my aunt, he said, as though Sunny might not might be too dim to know such basic facts about the world. My sister is her niece, and therefore in line for the throne. Obviously, we should each have a private cave. That would defeat the purpose, Sonny said cheerfully. Living together is part of the school's mission of getting to know each other. Believe me, the Sea Queen's daughter is here, and she's sharing a cave too. With a lot of grumbling about it, I might add, Hermione observed. But she kept that to herself. Besides, we haven't expanded far enough into the mountain for everyone to have their own cave. I don't mind, Quibbly said. I don't mind the scavenger. His owner is the one I might be allergic to. Moon tilted her head at Quibbly. Sonny had given him an easy way to get out of sharing Winter's cave, but he wasn't taking it. He actually wanted to be Winter's clawmate, although she couldn't see why. It wasn't quite that Quibbly liked him, but it was a little bit that Quibbly wanted Winter to like him, and he also kept thinking of a pair of big, bad-tempered sandwings, maybe his brother and his sister, in comparison to Winter. In addition, he seemed to be teasing Winter on purpose, as a kind of maneuver to make friends with him. All she could really figure out was that Quibbly was more than a little complicated on the inside. All right, Bug. Thanks for listening. We will try and do book again soon. I love you. Be good for Mom. And we'll talk soon. Okay, kiddo? Love you. Bye-bye.